Greetings and salutations, Charlton66, Steve, here with you again with another video. I know it's been a very long time. Good morning, everyone. It's morning still, and got the gumption to shoot a video. I know it's been a while. I have a lot of things going on. I had I had a death in the family. I don't want to go into all that. It's supposed to be a lively channel, although I'm going to go on a rant here a little bit. But things have been kind of hectic last few months. But I've been trying to get on the four-color fossils. I've been successful within the 3 weeks I wasn't able to get on because of what was going on at home with a family member. But I am weekly, best I can, with the four-color fossils. Graphic Man, Micah, been great. We have a good time on his channel. You have Jambo. Okay, if I can name everyone, got Jambo. Well, you got Micah, who's the host on his channel every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. You got Graphic Man, Jambo Comics, Captain Strange Life, myself, Gratu Orloff, Horror Mike, Meyer Greenblatt, Eric Breen. I'm trying to leave people out. Who else we got? Spinner Rack Dave. Oh, we got a bunch of other people. Howler Mouse, Night Tiger. If I leave you out, I'm sorry. It'll come to me. Excuse me. It'll come to me, and I'll mention you guys. But most people, I've said before, who subscribe to me, subscribe to those guys, or one person or two people. Word gets out, which is great, which is a segue into my rant. There's been a lot of things on YouTube that's, I think, has been lost in the shuffle as far as comic book collecting. I'm not telling anyone what to do. I do what I do. People like it, they don't like it, and I understand that. But however, the lack of interesting content is sorely lacking. I've seen a downfall in a lot of this. There are YouTubers in the comic community, however you want to say it, excuse me, have thousands and thousands of viewers, which is great. And they're making money, whatever you want to do. But if we're here to talk about the hobby, they're not doing that. The old adage, what are you bringing to the table? I hate using that, but what are you bringing to the table? There are some people who've been in the hobby, they've got big money because they, in the roundabout way, oh, I bought a big collection. Oh yeah, I bought this collection. Yeah, well, we know you got money. That's great. More power to you. However, you don't talk about it. You don't talk about the funny book, the comic book. It's all about you making money, or how you made money, or you are the spokesperson for the next big thing. I don't understand. There's a lot of channels that do that. There are some channels, a couple of them, that go, oh, I just bought a collection. Oh God, I don't know why I did it. Come on, dude. It's clickbait. You know why you did it. There's comic books in there that are going to people are going to be, oh my God, you're so cool. You found the Miles Morales book. Oh my God, you're awesome. I don't want to. Who cares about those books anymore? Everyone has them, but they're rare. Everyone talks about them. No one cares. And it's to the point of enough is enough, where you want to talk about the hobby, in my opinion. Again, this is just me speaking. Charlton66, who's been collecting and reading comic books since the early 70s. When we were collecting, and I'm still collecting, we weren't talking about trying to show one other up or look how cool I am because I've got, I've got Giant Size X-Men 1. It was just something that you bought. It was something that it was cool. It was neat. You read it. You traded it. You talked about it. Now everyone acts like, oh, look what I got. oh, I bought this collection and this happened to be in it. Come on. No, it didn't. You know, that kind of stuff is getting to be more, it's a trope. We are making fun of ourselves. We are, and I shouldn't say making fun of ourselves. What should I say? It's an embarrassment because there's more to it than just the book that you got for $1 and now it's worth $1 billion, and you make up content. You make up an average book. It's got the first appearance of freaking Phone Bone. Okay, so it does. That's great. You have it, wonderful. Or it's got a Mark Jewelers ad. Who cares about Mark Jewelers ad? All it says was it's sold on military bases. That's all that it says. It doesn't. And to me, I don't like them because you start to see a crease in the book. If you bought an older book that's been packed too tight, you'll see a crease in the book. Anyway, they meaning these, I'll use the word speculators, lack of a better term, are using this as a way to increase the value of the book that they own. Okay, that's all there is to it. They put it out there. They got their 20 billion subscribers who are waiting on bated breath of every word that they say, to a point of it's an act of validation of like, oh, I got that book too, so we're in the same boat, we're cool. And or they'll create, it's a direct copy, it's a direct distribution. It doesn't matter. It's the same comic book. One has a UPC code, one doesn't. Great. Great. You've got both of them. Fantastic. Again, people collect how they want to collect. People do things how they want to do it. That's fine. It's just me, my little rant on what I don't like, because I'm seeing more and more of this. Also, another thing, I had a list. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did with it. When you do your videos, again, I shouldn't say it because people can do what they want. Just because you got a few Funko Pops and a Miles Morales comic book in the background, you don't act like you know you're into this hobby because it's fun. You're in it because you want clicks, you want viewers. Funko Pops, I'm tired of them. I'm tired of seeing them. If you got people, I mean, I have a few of them. I got some monster ones, but or you put your or you associate having modern books with the idea that it is all inclusive. It's like because they're popular, no one wants to reach out or expand the horizon, so to speak. It's a great world out there. Just break that bubble of going Miles Morales, Batman, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, just whatever trope, whatever is popular right now. Just throw that out there. Go beyond that. Find an old funny book from the Golden Age, Silver Age, the Bronze that you think looks cool. Read it. You're going to be very surprised on how much better they are than what you're buying right now. And be honest, no one's really reading what they're buying. It's because it's a popularity contest. That's how I see it. No one can't convince me any other way. Because they'll come on YouTube. Another thing that annoys me is their pick of the week. All right, my pick of the week is blah 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 blah. You haven't read it. How's your pick? How's your pick of the week? Sometimes they've got the book, but it's Wednesday. Their pick of the week. They put it in a bag, throw it up. Look how cool I am. It's just there's nothing. There's no substance. It's form over substance. Everyone. Again, I might get people, and please comment. We can have a discussion about this all day long. I'll stand by my guns. I'm not going to backpedal on anything I'm saying. It's what I'm seeing. When we were collecting comic books, again, I'm an old guy, okay? I understand it. It's the old guy mentality. I'm not in a basement. I collect what I collect. I'm married. I've got a house. I'm not that guy. But, when I was collecting comic books, it was about the excitement of picking that book up off the stands. If we had a few bucks, when I first started actually saying I'm collecting I read comic books since I was a wee little guy. well, best I can read looking at the pictures. But when I said I'm going to collect comic books, this was about 73, 74 time frame. As I got older, I found other people secretly, again, we're not the nerd king or the geek guy or look at me, I'm a nerd. I got a Funko Pop. I'm a nerd. Oh, look how cool I am. I watch Big Bang Theory. I'm a nerd. Oh, look how cool I am. It wasn't like that. It was secretly. You you took them to school in your blue binder that feels like a jean jacket. You put your comics in there, and you met up with your two buddies that collected comics. You traded. You didn't care about value. All you wanted to read was the next story, the one you couldn't afford. You had an allowance. You know, you bought the comic books that you can buy, and we would talk about, okay, look, if you buy this World's Finest, I'll buy this X-Men, and we'll swap. That's how it was. And whoever ended up with it ended up with it. It wasn't because, I got to take care of this. We took care of our books. There wasn't bags and boards yet readily available, mostly just bags. We took care of our books, but it wasn't to the point of, I can't let you read this X-Men because you might crease a cut. We all knew how to read books. We knew what the deal was. But that's how we did things then. These guys now will they do nothing for the community. And what I say is, I don't hear them talking about trading or AOKs or anything like that. It's all about the buck. It's all about they're making the money, which is fine. You make money any way you want to make money. But where's the idea of fun? And that's what I guess the underlining scores. What do you bring into the table, and is it fun? If it's not fun, if it's about making money and everything else, and that's how you want to do it, don't don't make it act like that it's the way to do things. Let people know. I mean, you've got 5,000 subscribers, whatever you got, which is great. But talk to them. Get the word out is what I'm saying. Trade, there's people, I'm getting ready to show some Charltons here in a little bit, that me and a Instagram buddy, Bill, he wanted some Charlton Westerns. I went to Baltimore, got him a handful of Charlton Westerns, just sent them to him, and it was cool. Next thing I know, I'm getting a big batch of Hot Rod Racing Charlton comics from him. It was just because he just wanted to reciprocate. And that's what I'm talking about. And his books, no one cares about other than comic book collectors and readers. Historians. We are the people who I spoke of earlier. And it's been said before. And I think it was Gratu Orloff who coined the term, or it might have been Captain Strangelove, but we're curators of a museum. We're curators of these funny books. We're the curators of this pop culture that we are into. Old comic books, old pulps. I'm a simple guy. Comic books, related things. That's all. And the love of the history, the love of what has come before. And that's missing right now. You go to these guys who are acting like they're the all and beat all because they got these slab books. Ask them who Ern Anson is. Ask them who Joe Simon is. They might not even know. Ask them, they'll know the big names. But ask them these vague artists, like Ern Hansen, Shelley Moldoff, people like that. They're gonna look at you like you got lobsters coming out of your ears. It's people just need to really have fun with the hobby is all it boils down to. Other than the money aspect, the blue chip book. Hey, don't get me going on that either. Throw that term out. It should not be part of comic books. The holy, that's my grail. It's one of my grails. It can only be one. There's only one holy grail. How can you have multiple grails? It's a grail book. It's a key issue. In your eyes, what you're saying, because you've got these followers that believe every word you're saying, you put it out there to benefit yourself. Because then when you have your whatnot sale, or you're trading amongst your buddies on live stream and selling a book that should be about $5 for $300 because you created an environment, an artificial environment that puts this book up on its pedestal. No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And again, that's why I'm here talking about it. It's not sour grapes. I've said before, I've got books that Ditko Charlton's, some Golden Age books, and I wish every comic book would max out at $5 a copy. Okay, your coveted first appearance of Miles Morales is now $5. What would you do? Not my viewers, because most of my viewers and most of my subscribers have the same mentality, kind of like I do. I'm not speaking for them, but Miles Morales right now caps out $5. You gonna still covet it? You still gonna collect it? You still gonna think it's so great and so cool? I don't think so. The people who covet that book and want $1,000 for it will be very saddened and will be out of this hobby like that to find something else to get on the bandwagon with. I wouldn't care if every book in my collection, I got books worth thousands and I got books that are worth $1. It goes across the gambit. It just what I've been collecting over the years. They said right now, Charlton 66, your collection is worth $5 a copy. Okay, great. But I still have fun reading them. I still have fun talking about them. I still have fun researching it. The art, what artists have done, how they move from company to company, how they create what they created and why, when it was just a business and these artists created a phenomenal legacy and to them was just a job, you know. If they say everything $5, okay, it's no problem. I'm still that curator. I'm still going to take care of them. I'm still going to trade with people. You know, I'll see on Instagram someone's missing a book. If I got it and I can send it to them, I'm going to. It's just if they're missing that book, and I know because we have a lot of conventions in this area. I know dealers, and I can get it back. I will send it to them. And I'm not talking about if they need the thing number 15. I'm not going to sit here and send them my thing number 15 because that's a hard book to find. But if it's a book, and again, I'm speaking the truth. I'm not going to send my one thing number 16 or whatever because it's hard. Chances of finding that book again are going to be slim. But if it's a book that I know I can get again and they can't find they need, I'm going to send it to them. You talk about AOKs all the time, but it's only certain people, and they want to, you know. It's just what are you bringing to the table is back to what I'm saying. I could go on. I've been on damn 17 minutes and I haven't even showed a comic book yet. Sorry, guys. Obviously, if you know I'm talking, I'm ranting and raving about this. Move till you start seeing comic books. But I haven't made a video in a while, and I've been watching videos, and they've been annoying me. I've not watched. When they annoy me, I click off. That's the way that it is. Sometimes I'll fast forward. Sometimes I'll see the end. But most of the time, they're talking about themselves basically, and I just love these guys who act like they bought a collection and they're in despair, like they didn't know what they were doing. Oh, I bought a collection. Oh, I don't know about this, guys. I don't know, but I bought a 15-box collection. Yeah, you're gonna buy. First of all, great. You got money. We know that because you just bought a 15-box collection. That's the understanding of this, and the fact that you don't know what you got. Bullshit. Sorry, bullshit. You know exactly what you're doing. So don't just say, hey guys, I bought this really cool collection. I got some really cool books. Let's see what we got. Da 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 da. Great. Don't make it be like, oh my God, what did he buy this time? And these YouTubers, they don't subscribe to me, but people who are watching are subscribing, have subscribed to these people. They know who I'm talking about. But it's just a lot of videos. It's just there's a few people that still talk about the. Oh, I forgot to mention too another new channel that I discovered. Um, uh, Modern Gods. I can't remember. Modern Bronze Age Gods, something like that. I can't. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. But they're great. They talk about new books and old books, which is fine. And they talk about and those guys collect old books, new books, and they know what they're talking about when it comes to books. And it's a fun channel. Modern Bronze Age Gods, I think it's what it's called. Modern Bronze Age Gods. Those guys are pretty cool. But I can get on here and name names, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be more negative than I already am, but it's annoying. And another thing, if you are collecting comic books, don't act like, oh, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, I'm this. We're past that. Don't try and make it a positive thing because it's not. You're embarrassing yourself. Oh, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek. Stop. Collect your funny books. Be happy. Enjoy them. Funko Pops don't equate comic book collecting. Sorry, it's not part of the hobby. Even though you want it to be, you want to have a bunch of Funko Pops behind you, and the Spider-Man 129 slab behind you. Oh wow, it just happened to be behind you. Um, it's just it's a bad. It creates a bad environment when you've got an audience that you could really get into, get them into books that are beyond the little bubble that we're in with these overpriced key books. Everything's a key. Like I said, these guys who create a false environment of a value of a book because they have no one will talk about how valuable a book is or how rare it is unless they have it. Then that way, oh, on my next want not sale, guess what will be on there? That book. So anyway, I guess I'm enough of my ranting. I think I checked. I don't have my list that I wanted to talk about. Um, don't I'm not perfect. This channel is for fun. I don't do it obviously to make money because it's. I don't do any editing. I don't have fancy logos or anything like that. It's the warts and all. I come on here, I talk. I don't edit anything. I don't. I've got a ring light because my wife bought that for me. That's the only thing that I do with any type of production quality is my ring light. I'd rather just talk, come on here and be like a Charlton comic, not not edited at all, funny coloring, bad writing, bad scripting or whatever. Not really bad. I shouldn't say it's not bad writing, but not the best in the world. But anyway, um, let's see. I did to that the guys, but it just gets to a point where there's certain channels on YouTube and Instagram too, where they really know their stuff. And they should have every person who loves comic books should subscribe to that channel. But they don't. And I don't understand it. But then you have other people who talk about the most mundane, ordinary thing and that we see a million times. You know, um, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've seen a million Amazing Fantasy 15s. But show me your run of hot rods and racing cars, or show me some spatterings of your Marvel Toon ones. Show me some issues of the Thing from Charlton. Show me, any book I can think of that's not out of that no one knows about that we can learn from. That's all that I'm saying. That's great. You have Amazing Fantasy 15. More power to you. But there's more to it. Again, it's comic books. It's not the end of the world. I'm not talking about geopolitical, economic bullshit. I'm just talking about our fun of the hobby. I guess I'll leave it at that. I don't know. It's just I just want to see a variation of things when you talk about our hobby, and I take ownership of what I collect, how I collect, what I talk about. It's not just uneducated reasoning or uneducated opinion. Again, it's opinion. And like they say about opinions and everything else, everybody has one. However, when you have an educated opinion, it makes all the difference in the world. And, you know, I love learning. I don't know everything about comic books. Like I was with a guy on Instagram. Um, I just met. He's a big Charlton guy, and I posted a Charlton book and not knowing there was a bunch of reprints. I know the horror hosts were not Baron Werewolf, like the title stated. It was Mr. Dead, and Mr. Bones was a horror host, so obviously it was reprints and or excess material that they used. He pointed out it's all again. I don't. He pointed out it was all reprints. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I like learning, and no shame in that. I love it. So it's been 25 minutes into this. I will now talk about comic books. I don't know what I talked about last time I was here. It's been a while, and I thank everyone who is still with me. Like I said, I had a traumatic thing going on with the family, and it took a while to get back into the swing of things. I don't know if I mentioned this. Highly recommended. The Charlton Companion. If you want to know about the history of Charlton and Charlton's in and outs, again, I use the term warts and all. This book is for you. I love this book, and it made me realize that I am not missing, but I am coveting. Coveting? I don't know if I want that word or not. There was a Ditko. Oh man, I can't find it. I think it's Outlaws of the West #10. He did the cover on that. It's an early 50s Charlton that I've not seen that I need in the collection. I need. See, just learn something today, right? That's what we talk about. Neat things like that. But there was a cover of it in here, and I really want this book. If you forgive me, I know I've been talking a lot here, and I did not know that Charlton also had publishing. I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry, guys. I'll get back on in a second. But I can't find that awesome Ditko. Anyway, I'll find it at some point. All right, this is something I got, which is highly recommend. I'm rereading it. I read it, reading it piecemeal of articles and stuff I really wanted to see. Then I'm now reading it from cover to cover. This I got as a gift from my cousin. I don't know if I showed this or not. I know I showed in the Four Color Fossils. Simon and Kirby Superheroes, which is a pretty nice book. An authorized Joe Simon and Jack Kirby production. So it's pretty nice. Got this. And also, that was from Titan Books. Of course, the Charlton Companion is from tomorrow's publication. You can find them on Instagram, online, and Amazon. And the Team Up Companion, which is very cool, also from tomorrow's. Great stuff. I love the banner. Tomorrow's publication. They're kind of pricey. I mean, it's $40. You're not going to get it any cheaper. I mean, I got it from Amazon. I think it was $35 and free shipping. So it is what it is. So I got those books. Now on to some comic books that I have had for a while now, obviously. So I've not been here for a while. So I hope you are into what I'm about to show. For some new stuff, I haven't been to my comic store in a while because like I said, what it would happen. So I don't have any new books per se, but my cousin for Christmas, along with the superheroes book, um, got me the from Charlton Neo, Super Gorillas #1 versus the All American Victory Legion, which is pretty cool. Charlton Neo is pretty neat. Um, they got some cool books. Cool, excuse me, cool. Excuse me, get cool historical facts about Charlton. Some newer, some newer stories. And I don't know if I showed this one or not. Charlton Arrow, um, E-Man and Mr. Mix-It. Very cool cover, very colorful. Joe Staten did the work. I know he did the E-Man one. It looks like Stephen Butler might have done the Mr. Mix-It half. But it's pretty cool. I recommend Charlton Neo books. They also did a reprint of the letters and letter right. Oh, I think I have it right here. I got an original copy. They did a reprint of this. Anyone who reads old Charlton from the 70s remember seeing this. The comic book guide for the artist, writer, and letterer. That's Tom Sutton on the cover. I got an original copy of this. I bought at Baltimore a few years ago, before the last con before COVID hit, and it was only like 20. It was in a bundle. He had it for 25. I think I got it for less than 20. Great dealer. He knows I'm into Charlton and held it for me. And but Charlton Neo reprinted the book, so you can get it for $9.95, I think. But again, it's newsprint. I had Joe Staten sign it. I met him at Baltimore, and he was, oh, I remember this, and he was pretty happy to see it, and he signed it for me because he did work it within that book. Um, on Kickstarter, I don't do too many Kickstarter things unless I I'm familiar with the creator and I know their output's going to be good. Uh, Not being familiar with Kickstarter, I don't want to sit here and name bash anybody. I don't, but sometimes the stuff doesn't look that good. However, Jesse Simon did a comic book called Shield Master. It's a Kickstarter project, so go check it out on Kickstarter. Um, this is number one. I pledged. I can't remember what I pledged, but I got the first two issues with the Bob Layton, one of my favorite guys, variant cover. This cover, I can't remember who did it on this cover, but this is Shield Master from the Kickstarter. It's a pretty thick book. I have not read it yet because of things going on. But this is what he looks like. Hey, if you don't know who Jesse Simon is, it's Joe Simon's grandson. So it says Simon and Simon, so I'm wondering and I'm figuring out, and I'm sure it might be something within the book that might have been a creation of Joe Simon and Jesse updated it. Though I can't say for sure. I've not read it yet. But here's a very cool Bob Layton cover. The other cover for #2, a variant edition. Again, I'm not on variants, but Bob Layton, I have to be a hypocrite and buy a variant edition once in a while. But the Bob Layton, I'm just a big fan and been have since right there, original Bob Layton drawing of Iron Man from Iron Man 148 was on the wall. The cover of Iron Man 140 was on the wall when I had this done. So it's 80, 81. I'm thinking 80. But Bob Layton did this for me, and I still have it. I was a little kid, but had it done. Went to a local con in Wheaton, Maryland, and had that. I still have it, and it's a coveted piece of my collection. But yeah, this is Shield Master 1 variant edition, and Shield Master #2, Romeo Tangal. If that's how you pronounce his last name. Did #2's cover. Again, looking forward to reading those. I've not gotten around to those yet. Um, excuse me. See, I'm talking too much. I never shut up. All right. This was from my Instagram buddy Bill, who I had sent the Westerns to, the Charlton Westerns he was looking for. Ooh, my ring light's acting up. And I had, he wanted some Westerns. He said, just anything. I picked them up for him. Son. Next thing I know, I'm getting some awesome Charlton hot rod cars. This is number 44 from 1960. Great series. A good buddy of mine, a dealer friend, has the whole Charlton run of hot rod racing cars. There's just a fun book. Jack Keller, who did a lot of these hot rod books for Charlton, knew what he was doing. He would reference material, Motor Trend, Hot Rod Magazine, things like that. He would use as reference to draw the cars. Expert model builder. He did all this wonderful. He's known for his westerns as well. Before coming over to Charlton and working with them on the hot rod cars, the hot rod scene at Charlton. He talked about getting the wheels right. Bought tons of templates to get once you get the wheels right on the car, it makes it. Use models. I mean, he knew what he was doing when it came to doing the hot rod cars. You can tell by looking at this. This is a Jack Keller cover. Hot Rod and Racing Cars, number 74. Very nice. I love these books. They're hard to find for some reason. I think they're like war books for DC. People keep them. I don't want to use the word hoard. It's a bad word. But people just enjoy the hot rod cars of 75. I was just looking at the cover, talking about Clint Curtis. Clint Curtis came from Fawcett, I do believe. One of their racing mags from I don't know if Hot Rod and Racing Cars started with number 1 with Charlton, but Clint Curtis I think was a Fawcett character. I could be wrong. That's how I remember it. Hot Rods and Racing Cars, number 88. Such a great perspective. Pretty cool. Love that blue on the cover. Hot Rods and Racing Cars, number 100. Look at the guy on the motorcycle on a little moped thing. Pretty funny. I've read some of these. A lot of stuff has been put on the side of recently, but this I don't think is a Jack Keller. I don't think it is. Not as, but it's still neat. The next logo is very cool on the Hot Rods and Racing Cars. This is number 103. I love the colors on this logo. I think it's very cool. Number 115. Looks like Paul Power or I don't know. Paul somebody owned this book before me. Well, Paul, if you're watching, I got your Hot Rods and Racing Cars. And if you want it back, just send me a message and I'll send it to you. This is Dragon Wheels, number 32, featuring Scott Jackson. And all this is from my buddy Bill. Bill, if you're watching, thanks again, buddy. I appreciate it. Number 35, Scott Jackson and some in a wreck. Number 35, of Dragon Wheels. Now I'm glad I have a nice chunk of these, man. It really looks good in my collection. Love reading them. Just the just how Charlton had the corner on certain things. They produced, I think in the 50s and 60s, they produced a quarter of the romances that were on stands. This is number 5 of Drag Strip and Hot Rodders from 1965. Again, are these books something to write home about? Absolutely not. Are they fun? Absolutely so. This is a killer Jack Keller cover. Um, Number 13 of Drag Strip Hot Rodders. Look at that motorcycle in action. You can see the movement on that motorcycle. It doesn't look still, which is a sign of a good artist. I'm a big fan of Jack Keller. I was first introduced his reprints, his westerns. Um, Kid Code Outlaw. It was a reprint. Kid reading it, and I like Jack Keller. Kirby's great in westerns. Jack Keller's great on westerns. Of course, Nick Cardy is great on westerns. Um, but Dick Ayers, another unsung hero of the Silver and Bronze Age. Golden Age, too. Dick Ayers. Don Heck is another one. Again, you don't hear people talking about these guys. If I had 100,000 followers, I would be every day. Get books on Don Heck. Got to read about Don Heck. Don Heck is awesome. Get out there, buy his book, show some love, talk about your other people, get it out there. But everyone who's watching my channel knows who Don Heck is and loves Don Heck. Number 30. This is Don Heck. Geez, this is Jack Keller. Got a Lotus here, number 30 of Grand Prix. Such a great cover. Hot Rod Racers, number 5 from 1965. Great cover. And The World of Wheels by Jack Keller, formerly Drag Strip and Hot Rodders. Okay, number 17. I gotta put that with that title then. It's the first time I've heard Charlton do that. I've not read the title. Usually it just transfers over automatically, like you'll read Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2, and next thing you know it's something else. The first time they put on here, formerly Drag Strip and Hot Rodders, the title that it replaced, which I think is very cool. Again, Jack Keller. All right, we got some Charlton Western action going on. This is from my buddy, Jess, BWD Comics on Instagram. He sent me an A-OK. This is what I'm talking about, the love, the appreciation that you want to share with other people. And more often than not, it's just out of the blue, and it's just a nice treat. This is Cowboy Western, number 57. Of Bill Hickok, Sheriff of Abilene, and Annie Oakley, Queen of Sharpshooters. Stan Campbell cover. Pretty nice looking book. Cowboy Western number 52. 57. I got it out of order. A lot of action going on here. I knew who did this cover. I should have researched it. Jesse James, Annie Oakley, Wild Bill Hickok, and others. I think this might be my longest video ever. I love to give away Shoe Store. Big Shoe Store presents The Masquerader. And you always got other features within these. I do not know how many they produced. I've not read it in the Charlton book yet. They may address this, but it's got a lot going on that cover. I know Bluebird, Big Shoe, another one, I can't remember which one I've seen in my collection. I don't know how many are out there. Billy the Kid, number 85, which I don't understand. I've said it before, that why they draw, why did they draw? I can speak now. Billy the Kid, the way they drew him with blonde hair and not goofy looking. He was a goofy looking dude. He had buck teeth. He was a little dude. He wasn't. This is from. I'm a big history buff, particularly the American West. And then they wrote about him. He was not. He was. He killed a sheriff and a deputy. I think a deputy sheriff or a sheriff. I think he killed a sheriff. He was not a good. He was not a good guy. But they draw him with blonde hair, kind of a good looking guy, and but the kid was nothing but anything but that. This is a great cover. Very gritty. I don't know who did it. Um, Showing some serious combat. The all new Fight Marines, number 133. Got a lot going on that cover. All new Fighting Army, 127. Mundane, ordinary cover, but part of my Charlton. Love the Charlton books. This is a weird cover, kind of, just the way they did it. It's a Glansman cover. It's just the Lonely War of Willie Schultz by Will Franz is in this. I just ordered it from Amazon. They made the whole collection. The Lonely War of Captain Willie Schultz hardback book. Pretty expensive. It's $49.99, but it captures. There's a forward in there. I can't remember who did the forward, but it's all the stories of the wartime guy, Willie Schultz. Will Franz is a great writer. He passed away not too long ago. Hopefully his family is getting residuals from this collection. But it's in this, one of his stories is in this book. It's a Sam Glassman cover. It's just, this bugs me. This and this bug me. It looks like the dog's a giant dog stepping on a prison camp. But again, Sam Glassman, what more can be said about him? Another thing, if I had 10,000 subscribers, Sam Glassman, USS Stevens, read it. A Sailor Story, read it. I got, as a collection, I do believe, yes, right here. The Collected Stories by Sam Glassman of the USS Stevens. This was put out by Dover. This is a essential read. If you're into comic books, comic history, this is highly recommended. I don't know if it's still available. I don't know. I don't know if it's still in hardback or not. But I think Sam Glassman drew the Willie Schultz. Let's find out. Shall we? I believe Sam Glassman's claim to fame is that The Lonely War of Captain Willie Schultz, story of Willie Franz. Yep, Sam Glassman. I was correct. Great stuff. Again, if you're into war comics, good art, good storytelling, pick up that Lonely War. The Lonely War of Captain Willie Schultz. You'll enjoy it. This is a scarce book, close to the end, guys, of Charlton. Great cover. I like it. It's number 133 of Fighting Navy. (134) of Fight Marines. World War II Air Force stories in this. Nice cover. Kind of a mundane cover. 151, Fighting Army. Fight Marines, number 86. Great cover on this. Nice hand-to-hand combat stuff going on. This I got, I can't remember where I got this, but it's a great book to have. Zoo Funnies, number 3. I've got 1 and 2, so here's 3. I already have 1 and 2 in my collection. It's a nice early Charlton, 46, I believe. Let's see what we got going on here on this book. "1946, yes. Great stuff. Just funny animal, just goofy, early Charlton. Just early Charlton, funny animal stuff. But it's great to have in the collection. I wanted to find a copy like this. I was pretty happy. Actually, my Zoo Funnies 1, actually, I'm not a big slab guy, but if I pay a lot of money for a book and it's in a slab and I crack it out, I have an 8.0 Zoo Funnies that I bought at one of my local cons, which is great. Rule of Fantasy, number 16. I'm thinking this is it has Ditko stories. I'm thinking this is a Ditko cover because of that hand right there. Reminds me of Ditko, and it's just the layout and the design of the spacesuit. I could be wrong, but I think that it's Ditko. I should have checked, but I didn't. 161 of Green Lantern with my man Alan Scott. Secret Mysteries, number 19. Danger. This is Superior Comics. I think they're reprints, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I'm sure Night Tiger will correct me. Or Captain Strange Life, if I'm mistaken about this. Charlie McCarthy, which I'm a big radio fan, big radio guy, old time radio. Charlie McCarthy, I never understood it. For those who know, you're on the radio. Why do you have a ventriloquist with Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy? Why are you on the radio with a ventriloquist? It didn't make any sense to me. It still doesn't. I get there's an audience there, there's a live audience, and they're enjoying it because he's got the ventriloquist action going on, and oh, cool, ventriloquist. But I just never understood the radio show. They were funny, particularly when W.C. Fields would come on during the Chase and Sanborn hour. W.C. Fields would come on and be hysterical. But here's Charlie McCarthy. That's why I brought it up. Bullfighter, Dell for Color, I do believe. DC, I don't know what year this is, but this is a bizarre book. And Our Army of War, featuring Sergeant Rock, 161. Great cover there. And almost last but not least, Walt Disney's Christmas Parade, which is a really delightful holiday Christmas cover. And Our Army of War, 169, which is such an oddball cover, but it is what it is. I'll drop that Joker in the sand so quick. Grab that busted leg, make it hurt even more. That's what I would have done. But hey, Sergeant Rock's in distress. And I can't remember where I read it, but Robert Kanigher, that's how you pronounce his name, the creator or the writer of Sergeant Rock, states that Sergeant Rock or the Easy Company made it out of World War II, that they were killed in action, which was sad. I just recently read that. It made me very sad. I don't think they ever depicted it, or there was a story about it. I don't have a lot of Sergeant Rock comic books, but I don't think they ever did. Did I talk about this one? Hold on real quick. 170. I don't think they ever talked about it or showed him. Jonah Hex, of course, they showed what happened to him. I'm not going to give that away. And that was a great story. If you've never read it, the last days. I don't know what it's called, but Jonah Hex. It's in the night. It's in the 20th century. He's old. Something happens, and something else happens. Great story. I'm not going to give it away, but it talks about what happened to him. But yeah, Robert Kanigher, that's how you say his name, said that they didn't make it out of World War II. I don't know if they had something in mind or if that was ever going to be presented to us. I don't know, but that's that. Um, but nothing else going on. Again, sorry for my delay, such a delay of getting a video to you guys. As always, I do appreciate the views, the likes, and comments. Please, I know I haven't because I had no excuse, but had a lot going on. I've not been able to respond to comments, but I'm going to catch up to it at some point. A lot of comments that I know I need to do, probably 50 from various videos. But I enjoy the comments. I read them. I like them. If they're negative, be constructive. Hey, don't like what you're saying. I don't agree. This is why. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Click, like, comment, subscribe. Whatever you need to do. I enjoy the audience. I enjoy talking about comic books, the medium, all things literary, as they say, when it comes to comic books. Tonight's the 4-Color Fossils, 8 o'clock, Graphic Man. Be there, be square. It's fun. Everyone has a good time. We talk about the funny books, older funny books. No speculation, no FOMO, nothing to be afraid of. Just be there and comment, jump in there. It's live, so it's a good time. All right, you guys, thanks again. Hopefully I'll be on here sooner than later. Again, The Lonely War, Captain Willie Schultz. It's out in hardback. Pick it up. Pick up the Charlton Companion. Show the love for Charlton. If you don't like Charlton, it's an interesting read on a history of a comic book company that shouldn't really have existed the way they did things. And it's a strange world of the way Santangelo and Levy did things, particularly Santangelo. They had a cornerstone on a lot. Well, and that's what I was getting ready to say. I did not know that Charlton actually had a realty company that would get people to stay in houses in Derby that worked for the company. He was in the magazine publishing, crossword puzzles, Hit Parader. Was in he owned he had a movie theater that was right next door. Outdoor drive-in. He had a bunch of stuff going on, but then there was a darker side. I hate using that dramatic term, a darker side, but a very strange, the juxtaposition of what he presented himself to be in public. I'm talking about Santangelo and even Levy to a certain extent, and how they were running their business. Very, very peculiar. But it's interesting reading. It's worth the money. You can also get it digitally if you're into that sort of thing. That's another thing. Digital comics, I don't get it. Anyway, I'm done. I'm not going to go on that rant. You guys take care, and I'll see you around.